Hello, this is the Tradesight Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, July 6, 2014, and ending Friday the 11th. Hope you're having a good 4th of July holiday here in the U.S. For those of you abroad, sorry we had to take the day off on you. Here's a look at the, let's start with the dollar index as we usually do here. We've got absolutely nothing new, dead in the middle of this narrow range. I've pointed this out a million times. Let's skip to a monthly chart just to make sure we're clear on what this means. Look how flat this thing has been, actually for the last few years, but certainly for the last two, and even worse in the last. You can see how small it gets here in the last 9 months or so. That is the problem right now with the Forex market. We need to break out of this range one way or another, get back to some of the ranges we saw in the prior decade. But until that starts to happen, we've had some pretty light ranges, as you'll see. So let's take a look at the euro dollar, get an update there. Stuck between two static trend lines that are only 220 pips apart. That's the red and the green line. Not even that, actually, 210 maybe. Can't get through either way. Here's the pound dollar, inching to new highs every once in a while, but nothing else. Here's the Aussie dollar. Had a little breakout set up this week, broke out and immediately reversed back into range. New Zealand dollar hanging near the highs. Pound yen. This is a breakout, but I wouldn't get too excited about it, obviously, given everything else that's going on. All right, let's take a look at the intra-week action and see what we saw this week. Keep in mind, Friday, as you can see right here, that was the 4th of July holiday here in the U.S., so there's almost no activity, as you can tell by the volume and the tick volume here. But if we go back, this chart starts the prior Sunday. And you can see we kind of headed up, had a little move up on Monday. Dead flat for a couple of days, made our way back down. We broke down Thursday on the pile of economic data that was due, including the unemployment, non-farm payroll data, and our trade balance data. That was a big spike that shot us down. All told, though, for the week, even with that, 110 pips of range on the euro dollar for the entire week. Here's a look at the pound dollar for the week. Look at how flat this was from it went up on Monday. Basically, after that, 80 pips of range for the rest of the week. Just non-tradable action here in the Forex market we continue to see. I'm not going to bother going through some of the others here. I'm going to jump right into the economic data that's coming out this week. Let's see what kind of a picture we can build for what to expect. Sunday, Australia AIG Construction Index and ANZ job advertisements, not a big deal. Monday, leading indicators out of Japan, unemployment rate out of Switzerland, German industrial production. This is all early here in the U.S. before the stock market opens. Foreign currency reserves out of Switzerland. Centex investor confidence out of Europe. Then we get here over the North American side. Canada's got building permits, IBPMI, Bank of Canada Business Outlook Survey. No U.S. data at all on Monday. Business confidence out of New Zealand. Current account out of Japan and bank lending Monday night. We've got NAB business confidence out of Australia that night. Economic Watchers sentiment out of Japan going into Tuesday. German trade balance, French trade balance, Switzerland's CPI and retail sales, UK's manufacturing production and industrial production data. Here in the US, the NFIB Small Business Index, it's not a major number, but it is coming out at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, followed by the JOLTS job openings here in the US. We've got a Fed member speaking, consumer credit in the afternoon. So to this point, no major data in the week. Japan's M2 money supply, China's CPI and PPI, Japan's preliminary machine order tools going into Wednesday, housing starts out of Canada, crude oil inventories here in the U.S., the minutes from the last Fed meeting at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, 10-year bond auction a minute later, the results of the business NZ manufacturing index out of New Zealand, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time Wednesday night, the RICS house price balance data, Japan core machinery orders, tertiary industry activity, and the CGPI. Australia MI inflation expectations, employment change, unemployment rate out of Australia going into Wednesday, 30-year bond auction, China's trade balance, Japan's consumer confidence, French industrial production and CPI, new loans out of China, M2 money supply out of China, Europe's ECB monthly bulletin, Italian industrial production, trade balance out of the UK. You got a rate announcement out of the Bank of England going into, that's Thursday morning here in the US. Nothing out of Europe there, though. The ECB. NHPI out of Canada. Our weekly unemployment data, claims data out of the U.S., 8:30 a.m. Then wholesale inventories, Natty Gas, 30-year bond auction. New Zealand's FPI that night. Australia's home loans. New Zealand's Ryan's HPI. We go to German's final CPI and WPI at 2 a.m. Eastern Time on next Friday. UK CB dating index, 10-year bond auction out of Italy, unemployment rate out of Canada, and the Fed budget balance next Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. No U.S. data. Very light week for U.S. data. I would say almost nothing in particular to concentrate on. Probably the most data comes out Wednesday going into Thursday. And we've got that Bank of England rate announcement. So that's maybe the lull point for the week. Not much to focus on. This is not options expiration week. That's still 2 weeks off. So we will just call it as usual. It's still half size based on the ranges that we've seen. Unlikely to see an improvement enough there to change that this week. And we're obviously heading into the heart of summer at this point in time. So that is it. Everybody have a great trading week. We will be in the TradeSight Trading Lab giving you calls as usual. Have fun.